Okay, good. We are on our page 20 review here, letter G. So we have three terms which would typically be split the middle, but if you look at our terms, we also can pull out a GCF of 2. So we're going to divide out a GCF of 2. And so, let's see, our 2's cancel here. We're left with x squared. 12 divided by 2 is 6. We still have our x there. And then 16 divided by 2 is 8. So now we're going to try split the middle with the inside. So we need to multiply to 8. So 2 and 4 would do that, and those also add to 6. So, since our x squared is by itself, we can do the quick version. Just do x plus 2, x plus 4 with our GCF of 2 on the outside. Letter H is grouping because we have 4 terms. So we're going to go ahead and group there. We can divide out a 3x squared from our first terms and a negative 5 from our last 2 terms. So we're left with x minus 4 and x minus 4. We always want those parentheses to be the same. And then our 3x squared minus 5, we put that together to be our second factor. Okay, letter I has 2 terms. We can't do difference of squares with this because we don't have different squares numbers and we have an x here, but we can absolutely factor out a 7x from both terms. So this is a GCF problem. So here we're left with x squared minus 2. And there's nothing we can do with that. So we'll just leave it as is. Okay, letter J, we want to multiply to 5. 5 times 1 is 5. So we could do 1 and 5. But we do want to add to a negative 4, so we can do 1 times 5 or negative 1 times negative 5. However, that would add to a negative 6. So there's actually nothing we can do here, and this one will be prime. We'll go ahead and do split the middle here. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. Okay, we're trying to add to negative 13. So we could do negative 15 and positive 2. That would add to negative 13. Okay, and some of you may be thinking, why can't we do negative 3 and negative 10? Well, if we do negative 3 and negative 10, a negative times a negative is a positive, and we need a negative 30. So that's why that doesn't work. Just thought I'd mention that in case. Okay, we'll go ahead and do our grouping. Take 5x out of that first set, and let's see, positive 2 out of our second set. So here we're left with x minus 3 and x minus 3, which is good. We always want those parentheses to be the same. And then our 5x plus 2 makes our second factor. Letter L here, there's 2 terms, but there's addition. This would be a difference of squares problem if we had subtraction there, but because it's addition and there's no GCF that we can divide out, this one will also be prime. Okay, letter M, we have 4 terms. We're going to go ahead and do grouping on that. Here I can divide out an x squared, and here I can divide out, it looks, I think the biggest would be 4 on that. So we're left with 3x minus 8. Let's divide out a 4. Yep, good. Our parentheses ended up being the same. If this parenthesis was not the same, we know we just didn't get the biggest GCF. So that's always a good way to check yourself. All right, there's our last two factors. All right, letter N. Let's go ahead and do split the middle. 3 times negative 8. Is negative 24. So let's see, 1 and 24, 12, 6 and 4, 3 and 8. I want to add to 4. That would add to 5 if we did a negative 3. Unless I'm missing one, I don't think that this one adds to 4. I don't think we can do that. 8. Yeah, we can't do this one, so this one will be prime. We can't find anything that multiplies to negative 24 but adds to positive 4. Okay, our last one over here. Let's see, do we have a GCF? I think we can divide out a 3 from both. So we're left with 4x squared minus 25. Right here, that's a difference of squares problem. So we can take the square root of 4x squared, which is 2x. The square root of 25 is 5. So we have one positive and one negative.